Okay, so you pulled your carburetor out. There is a stage in this video that I'm going to skip because I don't actually want to pull my carburetor off the skid steer. Once you've gotten it off, there'll be the plastic air filter, 90-degree tube here, and the other aluminium one here. 4 10mm bolts, pull it apart, put them off to the side, give them a good clean out with your carburetor cleaner. On your stock carburetor, the air mixture screws will have a Welsh plug in the top. I'm just using a piece of aluminium here to give you an example. You just want to take a drill, put a nice little hole in there like so, and then take a little pry bar or something like this and get under there, pop it out and discard it. Do that for both sides. Alright, next we're going to disassemble the carburetor. Tools you're going to need: Phillips head, flat blade, set of jet cleaning tools if you can. They're only a couple of dollars down your local gas supply, welding shop, Bunnings. If you're fortunate enough to have some carburetor brushes, that would be great. A pen. And for the stock standard carburetor, you're going to need one of these special security tools. You could just take a flat blade and grind a bit in the middle. It's just a 2-prong like a rabbit ear. Alright, so let's go ahead and move some jets. We've got these guys out, we might as well go ahead and remove them. What I do is I put a pen mark on in line with the flat, and I put a mark on my screwdriver as well, and I just count the number of turns in. It'll be 1, 2 and a half. The same with this one because I've already done it. 1, 2 and a half. Right, so you can go ahead and remove those. What I'd like to do is write them down, a left and a right. Right, 2.5, 2.5 turns. That gives us our starting point. Yours might be different. You see the previous one over here, I've done it was 1 1/4 and a 3/4. So we're going to remove them. These guys don't matter where they go, they're not either side. You know what? That's better. Right. Pull it out. I guess you'd do this on a bench. I'm just doing it on the floor because it's a bit easier for the camera, to be honest. And I'm down the house. That one there. Let's go ahead and remove that. Don't forget, on yours you'll need the security screwdriver to do it in here, or a modified flat blade. It is important that you do this step, so don't scrimp on it because you don't have the tool. Make something. You could also take a hacksaw and cut across this here and make it into a flat blade if you needed to. Pop out your idle jets. These guys aren't left and right, so they don't matter, but I usually keep them left and right anyway. Put that one up there. Alright, let's get this float bowl off. Take out your 4 screws. There'll be 4 on all corners. I like to crack them before I go and relieve them all, because you can get a tight one. So just do each one, maybe in a pattern. Put that over there. We're going to give all that a good clean out. Now we're going to remove our float. On the stock standard one, it just goes straight through the side here, and it's held in place by a little moulding here when it's assembled. This guy also has a locking screw because it's an aftermarket carburetor. Alright, check our needle. We just want to make sure it's springing up and down nice. Probably just make sure it's sitting there nice. We're going to give that all a clean. All of them over there. That's our seat in there. It's fixed. We're going to remove our jets. These we do want to keep left and right. They will be ported different sizes. The left jet will be a 109, and and the right jet I think is a 110 or a 111 or something. I can't remember exactly, but I do know it was 19 because they're odd. Take out our two guys like so. We want to take our spray and we want to spray in here and here, in there. I like to put a bit through there, and that one we want to spray in here and here. I like to get it here. These four little holes, give them a good spray, line them up. You can force the stuff through. So, and then you would take a compressor and you would blow all this out if you've got a compressor. If you don't have a compressor, you can, well, you know, like get right in there with this nozzle and give them a pretty good clean out. But yeah, try and have some compressed air. Get in all there, clean everything out as good as you can, set it off to the side. Give all this a good clean out in here, get all the gunge and the crap out of there, clean that out. We'll remove this. We're going to inspect this guy. We want to make sure that that's moving nice and freely. Alright, check the spring inside, it's not damaged. Make sure there's nothing in there coming out. It hasn't, you know, played up. Put that in. Boom. Then we're going to reassemble that after we've cleaned it out in there with our spray and our compressor. Connect the wire while it's off and turn the ignition on and off and see if that retracts. It should go click, click. Be nice. Alright, so now we basically reassemble our carburetor. I usually tend to go with some of these guys first because you don't want the float flapping around while you're doing your thing. Let's pop these guys in. Right, so when we clean these, we're going to want to spray all of them. Give them a good spray. And then take our needle jet wires, these guys. We actually want to make sure that we clean out each one of these quite, you know, with our wire and actually go to that effort. Same with the jet here. Find the right wire and give it a nice good clean out. It's pretty important because you'd be surprised like how much shit gets caught in there, especially if you don't have an air compressor and you're only using carburetor spray. A wire is a must. You might even be able to find a little tiny piece of braided wire somewhere on like a keychain, pull it apart and use one of the tiny fine strands of wire. That was our left. Make sure we put them in the right spot. All the way. All the way till they're tight. Put our idle jets back in. It's easier to put the inside one in first. This one here. Put our retainer back in. Don't forget, on yours you'll have that silly little tool. Why they did that, we don't know. Alright, screw them in all the way. Right, take your tool, line up your marks again and count them out. 1, 2.5. Same again. 1, 2.5. I think that should be about right. Good enough to get you going anyway. These tend to run a bit lean for emission control, so an extra quarter of a turn is pretty good. Most people will report 2.5 turns pretty good, so I'm just using that as a standard. Not a lot of adjustment here on your needle and seat. Unless you're running out of fuel on a steep hill or on an incline or at really high RPM, I probably wouldn't adjust this. But on the factory one, you'll be able to bend this tab a little bit. You could probably give it a little bit more fuel or a little less fuel in that bowl, depending on your needs. So I just make sure, you can just look in here. Right, and you can see the float's working. It looks like it's about level when it shuts. You could hook some fuel up here and probably use this and set that if you wanted to. Put your cap back on. There'll be two locators here and here. Locate it like so. Screw it back together. I like to do these in a pattern, not just 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to actually do a carburetor like I would a cylinder head, opposites, diagonals. Okay, so these ones you want to sort of get down to there, and you might just go 1/4 of a turn. That's secure enough for aluminium. To about there. See, we've locked it up. I wouldn't say even 1/4 was a bit much, but no more than that. Do them, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I like to do. Put your plastic side on here, the one that's for the air filter, and the aluminium side on here. With a clean gasket if you have to, just a real little bit of gasket glue, but the standard gaskets are pretty reusable, so I don't think you should need to. Put it back together, put your 4 screws in and tighten them up to the same tension. Go and put it back together and give it a go. Adjust your jet screws as you need to when it's running. If say it like high RPM, if it's a surging a little bit, you might just give it a little bit more fuel, remembering to use your marks to count the turns in and out, and if you mess it up you can always just wind it in and come back to 2.5 turns. Don't forget to put your choke on, your throttle linkage on. Over on this side here you'll see a little white canister. Pull that off and clean that out with your carburetor cleaner and put it back in. Don't throw that out. You need that, it's important. It powers your fuel pump and they're not very easily to replace. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helps.